Hello. Hi, everyone. Oh, I already have 5 likes and I haven't even gotten started. Now, boys and girls, before I do get started, I need to know in the chat box, please tell me whether or not you read chapter 1, okay? And while you're typing that in, I'm going to explain how to access the book on BCPS One. Okay, so the 4 of you who are on here, go ahead and put in the chat box letting me know if you read chapter 1 or when you're going to read chapter 1, or if you're actually all the way on chapter 2, or if you got the book or you couldn't access the book, just tell me that information right in the chat box. All right, our numbers are growing. Hello and welcome, everyone. Okay, Valeria says no, sorry. It's okay, Valeria. It just lets me know how much I want to talk today if we haven't read chapter 1. All right, somebody read chapter 1. Zaneb, is it? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, go ahead and type your pronunciation in the chat box. Okay, good. So on the screen here, I'm going to just explain to you how to access the book. If you are a BCPS One student, then it's very easy. Okay, so that's Yusuf. Okay, good. Okay, and Yusuf read chapter 1, and I know because he left it in the comments for me on YouTube. Okay, Valeria says she's going to read it today. Okay, very good. So from your BCPS One account, Sahadeep, you've almost read it. Okay, good. All right. So I'm not going to go too in depth with chapter 1 since most of us haven't got a chance to read it yet, but we will get started talking about it, okay? All right, so to access the book, you're going to go to BCPS One. You're going to click on your BCPS One account, then digital content. Once you get to digital content, the screen looks like this. You're going to go down to Tumble Books Library. Let's see, make sure I got Tumble Books Library. Once you get into the library, there's a little tab at the top, the green tab, that's ebooks. You're going to press on ebooks and then scroll down to chapter books. When you get to chapter books, use the little arrow to scroll across chapter books, and there she is, Clara Humble, and the Not So Superpowers. Okay? All right. Let's look and just figure out what this book is all about. So I know last time somebody told me what they thought it might be about, but go ahead and type in, just looking at the picture, what do you think it may be about? I'm going to post the picture up for a little bit and tell me, what do you predict this book will be all about? Go ahead and type it in the chat box. And while you are typing that in, we're going to read what it's about. All right, Clara Humble may seem like your average fourth grader who doesn't look before she leaps, but she has a secret. She thinks she might have superpowers, which is convenient because things aren't going so well for Clara. Students from rival R.R. Reginald are moving into her school for the term, and Clara's favorite neighborhood, Momo, is moving to a faraway retirement home. Together with her best friend Bradley, the winsome and overconfident Clara becomes convinced that her knack for making liquid spill, overhearing her parents' conversations, communicating with her pet chinchilla, and maybe even mind controlling teachers could be used to put a stop to those injustices. Sure, these powers may not be as impressive as built in Wi Fi or the ability to barf data clouds, but hacks possessed by Cat, the bionic superhero of the comic book series Clara is creating, but they're Clara's best bet. All right. So, after I read the narrative, who can tell me what they think the book may be about? Tell me who are the characters. Also, tell me who are the characters that you heard me read about in the book. All right. Who's there? Tell me what characters you heard. We heard the main character. What's her name? Go ahead and type that in. Clara Humble, she may seem like your average. What grade is she in? What grade is Clara Humble in? Go ahead and type that in your chat box. Who doesn't look before she leaps, but she has a secret? If you know what her secret is, go ahead and type in the chat box what her secret is. Things aren't going so well for Clara. Students from rival RR Regional are moving into her school for the term. Do you know what a rival is? If you know what a rival is, go ahead and type that in. So Clara Humble, Yusuf is telling me she's one of the characters. She is the main character. And Sahadeep says that she is in 4th grade. Absolutely. So students from her rival school or regional are moving into her school for the term. Genesis says she's in chapter 1. Okay, good. Together with her best friend. Who can remember what's her best friend's name? What's her best friend's name? No, we can't play quizzes because most people haven't finished reading chapter 1. So probably on next Friday we'll do a quiz. Okay. Yes, Clara is in 4th grade. Her best friend, Bradley, the winsome and overconfident Clara. How do they describe Clara? I just said, how is Clara described? She becomes convinced that her knack for making liquid spill. So I wonder if, could I make a liquid spill? A liquid. So I'm thinking water. Can I make it spill? Okay, yep, she is in the 4th grade, and her best friend, very good, Sahadeep, is Bradley. Sure, these powers might not be as impressive as built-in Wi-Fi. Yeah, because making a liquid spill, I don't think that's not a great big superpower. Okay, so she can make liquid spill. She can overhear her parents' conversations. Do you feel like that's a superpower? Overhearing your parents' conversation, spilling liquids, communicating with her pet, chinchilla. She has a pet, chinchilla, so that would be another character she can communicate with. Okay, good. Somebody said Bradley is her best friend and the second character. Very good. That's Genesis. Good job, Genesis. Okay. And then maybe you didn't think that those were superpowers, but another superpower, she can maybe even mind control her teachers. What do you think about that superpower? She can maybe even mind control her teachers, meaning she can control their minds. Is that a real superpower? Okay, so she is working on a comic book. And in her comic book, she has a character called At Cat. At Cat is the bionic superhero of the comic book. Okay, Genesis says no, she doesn't think that that's a superpower. Control. Tell me what you're saying no to. Are you saying no, that those aren't real superpowers? Or are you saying no, controlling your teacher's mind is not a good one? Okay. All right. So now, once you're here in your BCPS One account, you want to press on Read Online. So once you press Read Online, then you have the cover page of the book that comes up. And I didn't see any answers. What do we think the book is going to be about? Although I've read the preface now, so we have a real good idea. But looking just at the picture, what do you think it's going to be about? All right, and Anna Humphrey wrote this book. The illustrations are by Lisa Sinar. All right, and there we have it. We see chapter 1. Let's look at the title of chapter 1. A villain gets herself into hot water. What do you think is going to happen in chapter 1? What do you think that means? A villain gets herself into hot water. Controlling your teacher's mind is not a superpower. Okay, all right. And Yusuf says that Clara is going to be humble. He thinks that that's what's going to happen in the book. Okay. And Valeria says no about superpowers. She doesn't think that those are real superpowers. Oh, Clara, look at what these children are saying. And Saadi feels like she's going to be a superhero. Okay, good. But chapter 1 says a villain gets herself into hot water. What is a villain? A villain is going to get herself into hot water. What is a villain? And then who do you think this villain is? It does say herself, so that's a real good clue, right? Now, also in chapter 1, this is the comic book that Clara is working on. This is her personal comic book that she's writing. I think she's going to have superpowers, Valeria says. Yeah, because we talked about some of the superpowers that she feels like she has. Okay, all right. A villain is a bad person. Good job, Genesis. So in our title, when it says a villain gets herself into hot water, we can trade that word villain and change it to bad person. A bad person gets herself into hot water. Good, good. Sahadip agrees. It's a bad person. All right. Who knows what these comic pictures are? What is this? What is this? He. I will use this bomb to blow up the cat food factory, is what the first one says. And the second one says, not on your life, poodle noodle. I, cat, will stop you. Who's writing this? Who's working on this comic strip? And the last one says, water. Hey, watch me float across this lake with ease. Okay. Do we have an idea of who's writing? Who's drawing? Whose comic book this is? Very good, Yusuf. Yusuf says that is Clara who's writing. This is her comic strip. Okay. Very good. Now, you guys have got to read chapter 1, okay, so that we can really talk about this book and we can really dive in and have great conversation, okay? And then, so I'm going to come on again on next Friday. Genesis says she agrees. She agrees. And then Sahadeep says, okay. So what I want you to do is read chapter 1, then come back to this video and write in the comments, I have read chapter 1. Okay? So then we're going to meet again Friday at what time? Who knows what time we're going to meet again on Friday? Anybody has a clue? Okay, Genesis says okay. Okay, so I'm glad. It seems like we have a deal. I'm going to give you a preview of what chapter 1 looks like. So you can see, good. Sahadeep says 4 o'clock. Absolutely. We're going to come on Friday at 4 p.m. again, and we're going to really discuss chapter 1. If you want to read past chapter 1, that's beautiful. Okay. But at least in these 7 days, I'd like you to read chapter 1. 7 days are in a week. Okay. Okay. Valeria says that's her. It's not Genesis. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at what chapter 1 looks like. Let's look at the illustrations that are in chapter 1. Bradley is the best friend. That's his normal Bradley face. And then there's his excited about minor explosions face. So that's Bradley's normal face, and that's his excited about explosions face. All right, Amtala, sorry she came late. Amtala, did you read chapter 1? Okay. Here is the R.R. Reginald Raccoon. I don't know if you remember, but R.R. Reginald is the rival school. Okay. All right. This is all in chapter 1. The incredibly awesome one-handed gator stand 1 second before it all went wrong. Innocent ducks that have no idea what's about to hit them. All right. All right, Angela, you haven't read it yet, and that's fine because a lot of us haven't read chapter 1 yet. But when you read chapter 1 throughout the week, you need to come back to the video and comment, I have read chapter 1, so that we can move on. Okay? This is the next illustration in chapter 1. Okay, good, Angela. Ear, supersonic hearing kicks in. Antenna, Wi-Fi capabilities engage. Heart, carrying sensor activated. Paws, telescopic claws on standby. When injustice rears its ugly head at cat, can't help but heed the call, and neither can I. All right, good. Valeria says 4 o'clock. And then that's the end of chapter 1. So it's not too bad. Yusuf says he read chapter 1. Thank you so much, Yusuf. So when we come back on Friday, we're going to talk about it, okay? So I will see you all then. Have a good Friday.